the girl had a glass. Oh. And I saw it, and I'm like, that actually looks pretty fun.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I've never had glass inside me.
Me either.
I know I'm in, except for the shards that are in tampons. Am I right, people? Okay.
Welcome, guys.
Hello. How are you doing today? You okay? You good? Did you check in? Did you drink your water? Did you do your stretches? Welcome to another episode of Guys.
It's the Anti-Slut Shaming Podcast. I'm Corinne Fisher.
I'm Krystyna Hutchinson.
Nice. Good to be here. All right. If you want to send us an email, it's SorryAboutLastNightShow@gmail.com. Make that subject line interesting, but honest. Okay? This subject line says, should I leave my husband for my ex that worships my nudes?
Ooh, that's tough.
Ooh, this feels
like
You know what? They always worship your nudes until they see you nude all the time.
I know, I hate that. That's why
the problem.
if you live together, you can't be naked all the time.
Men, that's Krystyna. That's an extremely good point.
Yeah.
I was just talking to someone not that long ago, and it was a really big source of contention in the relationship that the girlfriend was always nude, and the guy was like, "I don't want to fuck her anymore."
Yeah, so where's the surprise?
Yeah.
Where's the
exactly
the body? I'm not familiar with it. Oh, let me see that nipple.
Yeah. Remember when we were all watching Girls and we were annoyed that Lena Dunham was nude every episode? It's because we like new.
Yes.
Men especially like new, but as a culture we like new. The Lena Dunham thing also had some body shaming and fat phobia, but that's a different thing.
It's fun being a woman, huh?
And it has gone on to plague Lena Dunham for life based on things I've read.
We love you, girl.
We love you, girl. Hi, C&K. I love y'all down. Okay. I don't know what that means.
I do too.
Is that like dick you down? I'm Sierra, 34 female, married to a man, 35 male for 6 years. Well, that's where you went wrong.
Yeah.
I'm having an emotional /text/video affair with my first love and long-term ex-girlfriend as of the last month. Okay. So there's many elements here. Yeah, I'm bisexual. Clear, I'm sure from the context given. My husband is type A as fuck. I'm type B. This is mostly relevant in terms of household maintenance and financial literacy.
Which one's type A?
The one where things get done.
So is you. I'm type B. Yeah, baby.
I fully believe, but it can be overbearing, you know?
Yeah.
I fully believe that I landed my husband because I'm more recently fairly conventionally attractive and have an ex-ugly girl sense of humor. I chose him as a life partner because he is handsome, financially stable, educated, and literate. Last month, though, I reached out to my ex-girlfriend from grad school that not only is the only partner I've had that has connected with me on a deep psychological mushroom level without the mushrooms level.
Whoa.
But also gave me the best sex of my life.
Damn, dude.
To give the best sex of your life without a penis going in is really impressive.
Yes.
Because I'm sorry.
She's good.
No matter how much I hate men, the feeling of the penis going inside you is kind of unfucking beatable.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's just so good.
I know you can do extensions.
It's the real penis feels so good.
One of my friends who is mostly straight, but then dated a girl once. The girl had a glass dildo.
Oh,
and I saw it. And I'm like, that actually looks pretty fun.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I've never had glass inside me.
Me either.
I know I'm in, except for the shards that are in tampons. Am I right, people? Okay.
It's fun being a woman.
I know I'm in the wrong regardless, trust me, but the impetus of my wandering was that my husband frequently threatens to break up with me whenever we have what I consider normal argument.
Okay, that sucks. Then your safety in the relationship is completely...
But isn't that like what's that kind
anxious avoidant?
Yeah, that's anxious avoidant.
But you're married.
Yeah, no, it's
That's
not
gotta
good.
go away.
It's not great. I don't love it. Example: he was on a week-long work trip, an 8-hour time zone difference away, and I complained that the only time that we'd planned a moment to FaceTime, he was leaving a company basketball game and didn't want to stay on the call more than 5 minutes because he was so starving after playing, needed to eat, and would call me when he got to the hotel. I mean, that's just like that's man behavior.
Yeah. I would be pissed too, though.
But it's also just like, it's a week, you're married. Maybe just enjoy the time alone. I don't know. At close to 3 a.m. my time, even though I wake up for work at 5 a.m. and had stayed up to work with his availability.
Nope.
Yeah, like it's a week away. You can't just be like, have a good time. I don't know. that part is weird.
Well, I'm maybe mixed with the threatening to break up. That creates a thing.
Yeah. When he threatens to leave me, he calls me clingy/needy and frequently brings up his exertion towards our home maintenance as a reason why he feels unreciprocated balances in our relationship. When he says these things, it makes me feel like inadequate, even though I have a job that pays the same as his and I pay half our bills. I also clean the house religiously. He's OCD when it comes to clutter, and I'm almost irritatingly supportive of everything that he does. Be less.
He ain't that for you.
Yeah. We've talked about this theory on the show a lot, but I think like women's reaction to men being unhappy is giving more, when I think the solution is actually giving less and pulling back.
Yeah, because
it doesn't feel realistic. Yeah,
it doesn't. But then they go, whoa, wait, what's up?
That's the answer.
It's science.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
Because I just give less to men naturally, but they really love it.
They do love it.
Yeah,
they love you.
Wait, Eric, why is this?
We love space.
You love space, but
space.
It is more than space, I would say. This is like I don't really care that you're here.
No, it's not even that. It's like it's like seeing your partner naked all the time. It's like, it ups the value of.
It ups the value. I think that's an interesting. It ups the value because it's like scarcity.
Right.
So like how like in consumerism, capitalism. So the cost of things go up when there's scarcity. So it's a scarcity mentality, and it's like now men are more interested.
Yeah. That makes sense.
This makes sense.
Especially type A people. They love space. Corinne, you know that.
I know.
Yeah, you do.
I do. I love space.
I hate it.
This situation or a similar one has happened about 6 different times within our 6-year marriage.
Awful. Dude, that sucks.
Okay.
And I'm sure he has a reason why he's like that, but like that has to get figured out.
I mean, that's only once a year.
That would fucking...
Really?
I mean, look,
just like a guy needs a 1-week break one time a year. That doesn't seem crazy to me.
No, that's not crazy. No, but I'm thinking the situation is like he threatens to break up.
The threatening to break up all the time. Yeah, you can't do that in a marriage.
Yeah,
that's weird behavior.
Where's the safety and stability there? Even if you're like, this marriage has to work out. Like, I also don't think that's a good attitude to have. But like, threatening to break up when something happens that you don't like.
To me, marriage, like the marriage is the agreement that, like, unless something is really bad, you're making a commitment to solve the issue.
Yes.
I mean, if you could, because I'm like, I love to break up in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, but I wouldn't do that in a marriage.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I would be like, I made a commitment. I'm going to work on this. I feel neglected, lonely, horny. I'm so in love with being in love.
Oh, I get you.
But also, pin that. And I have the only thing worse than the ick, resentment.
Oh, girl, that is a very... I just got goosebumps. Resentment is so much worse than the ick.
Yeah.
And when it creeps in, you have to nip that in the bud. We got to read the rest of your email, but I'm like, couples counselor might be really good for this.
Yeah.
Because then the couples counselor could set him straight and like, dude, you got to stop doing this.
Yeah. So a month ago, I reached out to my ex-girlfriend. Our conversations have been fun, hot, and incriminatingly exciting. Ooh. I initiated our initial breakup 8 years ago because I got a huge promotion making $200,000 a year that required me to move to Seattle. She wouldn't leave her hometown in North Carolina to move with me due to her own career and family obligation. I didn't want to do long distance, and I felt a newfound air of young, wild, free. Example, I wanted to fuck other people, explore other relationships, and create a better life for myself. I 100% broke her heart, but the split was uncharacteristically amicable given the circumstances.
Two women, man.
Until last month, we haven't spoken in 8 years. That's why it feels electric, okay? So just please keep this in mind.
But like, I think of my exes 8 years ago, and I'm like, ugh, no. Like, I am so not attracted to an ex. So if I was, I'm like, there's something there.
But the problems that were there, I mean, just be careful. Like, the problems were like, one of the only intelligent things about relationships that one of my guy friends, straight guy friends, said to me was literally like how electric it feels to like hang out with an ex again for like a small period of time, depending on who that ex is to you. Yeah. I think you also are like not the norm. You really, when you're done with someone, you're really done with them.
Forever.
And I don't think most people are like that.
Yeah, it's true.
A large additional problem. My ex-girlfriend is married. Okay, that is you know what? That is a large additional problem.
That is the first problem.
So you're both married.
You're both married. And that makes the energy more electric, which isn't good.
Yeah. All right. So this whole thing has changed. I was informed by my ex-girlfriend's sorority sister last year at a mutual friend's wedding over way too much liquor that a large point of contention in my ex-girlfriend and her wife's relationship has been that she found nude Polaroids of me wrapped in handwritten love letters from me within the first year of their marriage, which was 2022, in a locked box of my ex's personal things.
So wait, how'd she find them?
I don't know. They also have a 2-year-old child conceived through IVF.
Yeah, you can't ruin a family.
Come on.
I mean, you can, but is that what you want to do?
Come on. I tell myself that I'm only looking for validation, familiarity, and honestly, a motivator for my sex drive with my husband from this interaction.
Yeah.
But I fantasize about taking the red pill and what would have happened if I'd never broken up with her due largely to career-induced distance and lust for a life of sexual experiences with other partners.
You would have broken up with her. If you didn't break up then, you would have broken up eventually.
Yeah, and it's also like, again, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You made the decision to break up, and now like you're not super happy, and so you're gonna go and like fucking ruin everything that she has because you know you have this power over her and you're not feeling that you're being appreciated in this relationship, but you know that you have power over your ex. Come on, this is not good behavior. I've crossed several lines: respect for my marriage, respect for my ex-girlfriend's relationship, and just my luck in general. I don't know what luck has to do with it. Given that I'm probably on a high alert list in my ex's wife's brain, given the history of the Polaroids. Women are ridiculously good at sussing out bullshit, as you know. So I'm constantly running the risk of my ex's wife finding out, my losing control of the situation. Yeah, exactly. You like it because you have control of the situation and you don't have control in your marriage. There you go.
Are you a Pisces?
You nailed
I love
it.
Control.
And ruining at least one of 2 marriages. My question is, what the fuck should I do? None of this.
Yeah.
Should I just stop the communication with my ex, even though it's serving me in ways that I'm not getting from my marriage, and just make it work with my husband, who has a girl's name?
Oh yeah, I know guys named that.
I know guys named that, but not spelled like that.
Oh yeah.
Should I divorce my husband because he's not meeting my emotional and communication needs, even though he supports me logistically and financially?
But does he support you financially? You make the same amount of money and you split the bills.
Yeah, I think he's just better with money, though.
Oh, because he's a type A.
I thought I thought she said she would, but maybe I read that wrong. Even though ultimately my life would be significantly harder logistically without him.
Fuck logistics.
2, even in lesbian relationships, they never leave the Madonna for the whore. I'm a dumb bitch, but not that dumb. 3, if me and my ex's connection was the outlier and she left her wife to re-explore things with me, breaking up a family is wild.
Yeah, there's a kid, man.
Plus, stepmom isn't a thing I'm trying to do regardless.
Okay, so this is purely about what this woman makes you feel.
You're in a chaotic phase right now, and you need to get the fuck out of it. You're not 22. You're 34. Did I fuck up the potential love of my life? Oh, God.
No.
People really love throwing around love of my life. I've seen it so often in Instagram captions lately. Guys, no.
I'm like, have you been thinking about this woman since you left her the whole time?
Her for 8 fucking years.
I know, and I'm like, you're just calling her the love of your life because her energy is really exciting during a time that your current relationship is leaving you feeling like not like a woman.
Yeah, you're calling her the love of your life because you feel bad about yourself right now, and she really likes you a lot. You don't feel the same though. She likes you more than you like her.
Yeah, and that's fun.
Yeah.
When you're not getting attention from your partner, it can be very intoxicating.
It's fun, but ultimately not satisfying long term.
Yeah.
Okay, so love you. Okay, so pics of my first husband.
Or her husband. That's her.
Wait,
super
did
cute.
she say? Pics of my husband first. I thought it said first husband. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay.
That's her and her husband. Super cute. And then that's the ex. I do feel your ex's sexual energy through the photo, I gotta say. Like, I feel like she fucks.
Your husband's like actually very attractive though.
Yes.
Normally that people attach a picture of their husband. I'm like, ew, why should you marry that person to
You're
begin
both
with?
hot. Yay.
Yeah, he's
That's
cute.
exciting. Yeah. This is her? This is her ex-girl. This is her ex-girlfriend. And that's the new wife.
Oh, this is her ex-girlfriend. I thought that, okay. I was confused.
Yeah.
But
she's the ex-girlfriend. Yeah, I get it.
Well, there's all because I was just like one has way more lesbian vibes than the other.
Yeah.
But obviously the ex likes femmes. Okay.
I would say go to couples therapy with your husband, because and couples therapy is really cool. I'm currently in it, and it's a great space to like. It's not even necessarily that like even if I can say things. I'm not comfortable talking to my boyfriend, but I feel like I have permission to like say things out of nowhere that have to do with the relationship, and it's completely appropriate. And no one's like, "Well, where'd that come from?" Because we're in couples therapy. So you can even like say, I don't know though. Your husband, I was gonna say your current husband, sounds like he's super sensitive if he threatens to break up over a small argument. But like I would say, if I were you, I'm like couples therapy. If you establish a relationship with a therapist that you both trust, is a nice way to say, hey, you threatening to leave me so often is guiding me towards other people. Like I found myself attracted to my ex-girlfriend, and it was exciting and lustful, just the idea of thinking about it. And so that to me says that there's a huge piece of trust that we're missing in this relationship. I say couples counseling you married each other. So there's a reason why you married each other. Hopefully not just for logistics.
For 6 years. And it's like also like, I think every, like this, so they talk about the 7-year itch. You guys are 6 years, so you're close to like, what's known as the 7-year itch. When you probably have to like really put some extra work into the relationship if it's going to, you can't just like get married and then go, oh, we're married and like
why
let
doesn't
it
this feel
sit.
good?
You have to put work into it. So maybe you're feeling a disconnect because the work isn't in there. And like also I would just sit down and have a conversation with him about why he does this thing where when you get into what you consider to be a normal argument, have you ever asked him like, where is that coming from? Is that because it's coming from a place of fear?
Yes.
I would
There's history to his reaction.
And so just like sit down and ask him directly. Like so many times people come to us with asking advice, and I'm like, did you ever like sit down and have this conversation with your partner? Like maintenance has to be done within the structure of the relationship, and it seems like maybe it's not being done. And so instead of having the conversation with your partner, you ran to an ex because that would be an easier, in quotes, solution. It's not a solution at all. It's actually causing another additional problem.
Way more problems. We're for two couples now.
Right? And I mean, I also think like being bisexual must be interesting because like, ultimately, if you want to get married, you do have to decide if you want to spend the rest of your life with a man or a woman. And that's not a choice I've had to make. So I think maybe you have to do a little bit of self-exploration. Like, do you feel like maybe you're actually a lesbian? I don't know. I know sometimes people have that kind of awakening further down the road. That's something I can't personally help you with though.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would put some thought into that. Like think of your relationships with women and your relationships with men. Also like maybe you want to explore your bisexuality a little more. You could talk to your husband about that. But I wouldn't go back to your ex. So I would maybe try dating women. Maybe, I don't know, have a threesome. I never suggest that, but maybe because you're bisexual.
Right. Well, and also
maybe your husband will like that. I don't know.
If you cut contact with your ex-girlfriend, that's going to free you up so that you have the motivation to figure out if you can and want to fix it with your husband. So long as you're still talking to her, you're going to be so wrapped up in that hurricane of energy that but if you stop talking to her, one, you're going to feel better about it in terms of your integrity and your discernment because it's the right thing to do. It's not an honest move. So cutting contact with her is an honest move. And then you're going to be so frustrated that it's going to motivate you to figure this out. So.
Yeah, and it's like your ex right now is like a drug. Like you're using a drug and it's going to end very badly.
Yeah.
Just like you broke up, just walk away from that.
Yeah. There's a reason why your ex-girlfriend married her wife. Yeah. There's a reason why you married your husband.
Yeah.
So remind yourselves of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for writing. And if you're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where are you at, guys? January 10th and 11th, I will be headlining in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Toronto, January 17th and 18th. And then, as always, I have my solo podcast, The Voices in Our Heads. We are getting woo-woo as hell over there. By we, I mean me. I'm interviewing a bunch of people, and this coming Friday, so this will already be out by the time you hear this, I'm interviewing Alan Steinfeld, who wrote the book Making Contact, one of the most Cosmos. Incredible books on aliens, UAPs, life on other planets, with 10 guest authors that used to work for the government. And so I'm just so excited. And I've been seeing shit in the sky, and I've been putting it on my Instagram, and I sent a video to Alan, and he goes, holy shit, next time you see that, call me, because I live by the Empire State Building. I want to come out and see it, because that looks like a UFO I've seen. And I go, did I just fucking capture one on film? I'm so excited.
I saw the video, you guys.
It's so cool. It's so cool. So Voices in Our Heads. And then I have a Patreon where once a week I do group Zoom therapy over the internet. And it's a really cool space. I just had it yesterday and it was amazing. There's just, you could talk about wanting to die. You could talk about your parents not understanding you and how that's created a huge rift in your self-confidence. You could talk about talking to your grandmother who's already passed away. You can talk about a vitamin you just went on that's really working for you. That was one of the things we talked about yesterday. It's a great space. It's the only space that it's energizing, which is not something I expected out of that. But I think sharing how you're doing and cutting all the bullshit and just saying, hey, this is where I'm at is very, very helpful to your mental health. So patreon.com/Krystyna Hutchinson.
And then my political fuckers and my wackos, we did this 4 years ago, and man, time flies when you're having an okay time. The presidential election is coming up, and well, wait, I'm doing this here, and I'm like, it's not. When is this episode going to air?
Well, we can make it air before then.
All right.
So
well, I'll do a promo at the beginning of some other episodes too. But Tuesday, November 5th is Election Day in America, and I will be live streaming all night in New York City on the Upper West Side. So if you live in the New York City area and you want a place to see if we get, our first female president or another 4 years of Trump, I feel like it's a time when you're going to want to be around other people, and you're probably going to want to have a cocktail.
Yeah.
So
or a blunt.
Head up to the Upper West Side location of New York Comedy Club. That felt like the smartest location. That's why I wanted to put it there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I asked for that location, and I don't know the exact start time. It'll be 7 or 8 start time. We're going to do a little stand-up comedy to begin the show, just to ease our tensions, and then we will be like live streaming podcast style. Again, if you guys remember the show from 4 years ago, it was super fun.
Will there be TVs in the room?
Yeah, we're live streaming with a TV that will be broadcasting like CNN or whatever network we choose, and then comics will be rotating every hour, so like mini panels. So it'll be like podcast / Mystery Science Theater 3000, like political commentary.
Definitely being in a room, if Kamala does win, being in a room full of people like that, like,
we
that's
might
so
not
special.
know. It's so close that I honestly doubt the official. I think it's going to be another Joe Biden thing where we might not know for several days who won.
The channelers are saying.
The who?
The channelers on Instagram or on YouTube. All the like spiritual people.
Yeah, and so I think, but I think it's going to be a really fun night, and it's just like, I don't know, a presidential election I do find like wildly exciting. Maybe that's like nerdy of me, but I think it's going to be a really fun night. And so there's not that many places where you can organize. I think there should be more, especially in a city like New York, but I wanted to create an additional space to do that. And so I'll post all the info on my Instagram, but yeah, Upper West Side New York Comedy Club, Tuesday, November 5th, like 7 or 8 p.m. And obviously they'll be going for 4 hours, but you can come, go, like we're not locking you in, so it'll be a reasonable price and we'll have a good time. So do that. And of course, if you want to check out Without a Country, we live stream except for Election Day week, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and you can join the Patreon for an additional video news story, not live news story, every week. It's patreon.com/withoutacountry. Thank you. And Eric?
Sorry. And then on election night, if you're not in New York, I'll be in Chicago headlining the Laugh Factory. And then the next day, I will be headlining the Vixen in McHenry, Illinois. So come to one of those, and you can find the tickets.
After you vote.
Yes, after.
You can vote as early as 6 in the morning in most places, I checked.
Mail in, you vote. If you want to
vote, or you can vote early.
Oh my God, I already voted.
Please vote.
I voted last week.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Please vote. Krystyna's so excited to show me something. I don't know what it is.
If you've seen this article, I'll be like, fuck. But if you haven't, okay, it's because it's from last year. But My friend told me about it. My friend Chris, shout out at Heel Chris if you want stunning skin. She works in Brooklyn. So the headline is Bride Stunned After Discovering Groom Being Breastfed by Mom Before Wedding.
Okay, wait. I actually do vaguely remember this, but it's still... and this was...
I had no idea.
And this is like... They confirmed this to be true?
Yeah. So, okay. A wedding is one of the most stressful times in a person's life. Are you really meant to be? What will the best man speech be like? Will the dress fit? One question you probably wouldn't expect to be asking yourself on your big day, though, is, did I really just see my husband to be being breastfed by his mom? Apologies if you're just about to tuck in tea, but there's no sugarcoating this one, I'm afraid. Speaking on the Unfiltered Bride podcast, Georgie Mitchell told co-host Beth a story she had heard about quite literally the mother of all disaster weddings. On 2 occasions, I've been told this story. I was not at this wedding, but on 2 occasions, I've been told this, both by makeup artists. Georgie explains, building the suspense. We'll call her Jenny. Jenny says to me, I did the wedding the other day and you'll never guess what happened. She said the bride needed to go to the toilet just before the ceremony. This is like pre-ceremony. And she walked into the toilet, and what she saw is enough to end a wedding. Now, immediately your mind is racing what she could have seen that was so catastrophic. It was enough to call the whole thing off. Reeling off a few scenarios, Beth suggests he was with someone else, maybe having a wank, or perhaps, this is so British, or perhaps he was being wanked or doing drugs. Oh, if it were only those things. There had been room for some kind of reconciliation, maybe. Sadly, this poor bride saw that day is not something a couple can come back from. Georgia reveals he was being breastfed by his mom. And
how is his mom lactating if she's old enough to have a son who's getting married?
Because they keep sucking on the titty. Keep sucking on the titty. And then I looked it up and I'm like, is this a thing that happens? Like, can women, and like there have been recorded cases, child abuse, but of adult men being breastfed by their mom. But is
it child abuse if you're grown up?
Well, no, it's not. It's not. But there was. It stems from a very abusive childhood.
Right.
And understandably surprised, Beth then says, "Sorry, what? Why would you marry a man who still breastfeeds?" So I was watching a bunch of videos on this too.
Imagine if you think your fiance is cheating on you, and then worse, he's sucking on his mom's tit.
That's the worst thing I could ever think of.
I would rather have
on your
him
wedding
be
day
cheating on me with all my friends.
Me too. I'd rather him fuck everyone that's ever existed than being breastfed.
Men, women,
anyone.
Yeah,
yeah, not kids though.
But no, not kids.
That might be the worst one.
That would be the worst.
Like that's really bad though. So come on.
Right.
That I was just when I first read this article, I was like, holy shit! And then I just can't stop thinking about how you pay for a whole day and it's so expensive, and people fly in, and then that happens. Like how? That's
and then also how embarrassing, because like
so embarrassing.
You have to explain why. Wait, did she cancel the wedding?
I think she did.
That's the main thing I need to know. Did she go forward with the wedding?
Say. We can only assume they didn't patch things up in the next 5 minutes and decided to go through the wedding after all. The first clip went viral in late 2019, which seems like a different, more innocent time than those days. According to one groom, accidentally caught his bride to be this is like other stories. Bride to be cheating on him while he was testing out a camera he had installed in their house. Ew. Okay, yeah. Then it just goes into other couples finding out they were cheated on. This fucking website sucks. There's all these pop-ups.
You really have.
You don't know who you're marrying, man.
Look into one of the most important things is really looking into the relationship that your husband to be or anyone you're dating has with both their parents, but especially the opposite sex. The opposite parent.
Yeah, that's true.
You really got to analyze that.
I don't think I've ever dated a mama's boy.
I am constantly, I like to look at every behavior.
I wonder if guys care about if the girl's a daddy's girl. I mean that's not as gross though. I mean, it could be. But do you care about that, Eric?
Wait, what you're saying you've dated a gross daddy's girl, Eric?
Yes. I mean, not
what did that look like?
But it just
they're like
it wasn't like where it was like I was being called daddy or anything, because
I hope
hate that.
That's different.
You know what? Yeah, because you're a child.
You're a little young to be called daddy.
You gotta be bald to be called daddy, I feel like.
No, it was just I saw them interacting, and it felt like
sexual.
Not sexual, but it was too close. It just felt too close. It's hard to explain.
Too close.
Wait, how do you mean too? Like, but not sexual, but too close?
No, it felt like she was like early 20s, but he was still treating her like she was maybe 5 years old.
Oh, like infantilizing kind of thing, but in a non-sexual way.
And then she was acting like the part of.
Oh, she was acting like the baby.
Yes.
Oh,
and
God.
Ugh.
Ugh, that's weird.
I see.
That's weird. Okay. Now I have a clear picture. That is weird. I've seen brothers and sisters that act like they fuck.
Interesting.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
But I've not met. Well, I mean, I know friends who have dated guys. I'm like, I think him and his mom fucked. I think they had sex.
Yeah.
I really do.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever dated a mama's boy? Like it didn't get where it wouldn't have gotten that far. I kind of can't tell until you see it.
I've dated mama's boys because the problem is I've dated several people whose parents were divorced, and so they were like single mom sons. It's really hard not to be a mama's boy when your mom's a single parent.
Yeah, that's true.
But it wasn't like none of them grossed me out. One definitely had his mom on a pedestal, but I understood why it wasn't out of hand. Yeah. But I mean, ultimately, I think like if there was a fire in the home, he would save her before me. So we could never ultimately get married.
Absolutely not. That's not acceptable.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
So
I feel like children in divorce are less likely to have that than people who
whose parents stay together?
Yeah, exactly.
Like a daddy's girl, mama's boy kind of thing?
Yeah.
There is something, though, when you grow up with a single mother, like the boys I know who grew up with a single mother really idolize her because they recognize how much work she had to put in to raise them.
I respect that.
Yeah, I respect it, too.
I respect that.
Yeah.
But like I feel like I tried to be a daddy's girl. And it didn't work. I'm like, I want to see what this feels like. And my dad was like, hi. I'm like, okay.
I'm a daddy's girl, but not. It wasn't like extreme. Like I still treated my dad very often the way I treat most men, like bossing him around, you know. But that also, mirrors the dynamic that was, my mom, is obviously the
alpha.
Yeah, the alpha.
Yeah.
In the family. So, but and then a lot of times you go on in your relationships, and then I'll be the alpha in my relationships. And a lot of times the men I date, when I meet their mom, I go, oh, this really shows me why they like me, because they had very strong mothers. A man who didn't have a strong mother most likely is not going to like me.
Correct.
Pretty much every boyfriend I've has a very strong, smart, independent mom.
Nice. That's
and
good.
So I'm like, I go, this is why you like me, because I'm just kind of like your mom.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get away from it. I think it's just the way
people say like
work.
you date the person that's like your opposite sex parent, like, which you have said to me, like you that checks out with your dating.
Yeah,
history.
I mean that's why I like funny guys. I like I like quirky guys. Yeah, I mean there's elements of. James didn't have any elements of my dad, but like Frank definitely did. Guy I'm dating now does. The one before that did. Like the ones I like a lot do tend to, except for James, have elements of my dad for sure.
I don't think I've never dated anybody like my dad. I wouldn't. Yeah, not that my dad was bad. I was just like, no, not my type. My dad's not my type. Sorry.
Do you think it's because the biological parent thing?
Oh yeah, I forgot that. He's not my biological dad.
I wonder how it does work though. Like, because it's still the person that you acknowledge as your parent, and I think this might be more nurture than nature.
Maybe
it makes sense.
Maybe. I mean, I saw a picture of my biological dad. That's it. He's since passed, or he's passed.
And you didn't think he's hot?
Didn't think he was hot. No offense. But I also but I will say he seemed through his picture very sensitive and sweet. But I don't know.
So maybe it is more nature than nurture then.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask his daughter if we could hang out and I could ask her questions. But I don't think she's not interested in that right now, which I totally understand. But I'm like, I have an inkling that he's a sensitive, sweet guy.
Yeah, I think it's more personality than like looks. Although I do have a theory that, I mean, because I grew up with a dad with long hair, I love guys with long hair.
Yeah.
I mean, or it's just kind of my personality.
I love guys with long hair.
Rock and roll, Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think I wasn't like walking around like, ooh, who's this hot guy in my house? But pictures of my dad when he was younger.
Maybe he's single.
Very good looking man.
Yeah. My dad who raised me was very handsome when he was younger.
So,
How are you?
I'm good. Things are I love fall in New York.
Yeah,
I've had a lot of good trips lately. I mean, not Las Vegas, but Skankfest is lovely, but I fucking hate Las Vegas. LA was great. I spent a lot of time with my brother, went to Knott's Berry Farms.
Nice.
Which is, guys, I know like it's more like locals of like, whatever is it, like Buena Vista, Buena Park, wherever it is. But you're sleeping on Knott's Berry Farms if you live on the West Coast and you're not going. That place fucking rules. We went on a Tuesday. We had the park to ourselves. Didn't even have to buy Fast Pass. It was like $65. Deal of a lifetime.
The name wouldn't suggest that it's like a fun coaster park, but that's great to know that it is.
So good. I mean, I went, when you're going on roller coasters so fast because there's so little line that you're getting sick.
Yeah.
That's what was happening. I mean, towards the end, I left with a migraine.
Yeah, no, my ex-boyfriend's dad was in a wheelchair, so we would go to Six Flags all the time, and we would get there at like noon.
Yep.
We would leave by 3.
Oh yeah.
We rode all of them thrice.
We stayed in for 5 hours, I think, because we wanted to get there earlier, but we were doing too much, and I was eating churros. It was great.
Churros.
It was great. They have the Elvira experience there. I mean, because everyone was like obsessed with Universal Horror Nights, and it was just like, I heard it was too busy. It's like $800 to get the Fast Pass experience for 2 people at Universal.
Elitist.
I had just gone. I was like, no, let's go here. I'm so glad I did. What else? Yeah, I did a bunch of fun shows at the Comedy Store. Gash, I think, was the best Gash ever. You guys fucking ruled. That was so fun. Yeah. And then the only thing I was like in the shower today, and I was like, man, this is, I'm in a groove. I'm in a groove right now. This is great. This is my favorite time of the year.
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel like I feel like myself again. I loved being a blonde, but I do feel like myself again with like the weirder hair.
Nice.
I got to model for my favorite horror clothing company, Eye Candy. Awesome. And I just feel like some good career stuff is happening, personal stuff, good.
Yeah.
I do have to probably get in a fight with my co-op this week about renovations, but that's a different thing.
Yeah.
And then I was lathering up, and like I've been using this body wash, and I'm like, what? It wasn't lathering, and I was like, well, I guess this is why I was at Marshall's.
Oh.
And then I'm like, why? And then I'm like, it's burning my pussy a little bit. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh, it's fucking lotion. So if I've smelled for the past week and a half, guys, it's because I have been bathing with lotion.
You bathed your pussy with lotion.
And I
ouch,
now,
my urethra hurts.
Yeah. And so I've just been putting fucking strawberry milkshake oat milk flavored, not flavored, but like scented lotion. Because I was like, it's really not getting a lather. And it feels slippery under my feet in the tub. I really understand why this is on discount. But it was in the body wash section, which is different from the lotion section. Right. And it was in a...
But it wasn't clear then. It wasn't like a gel. It was like
so lots of them are creamy, and I always buy a creamy one in the winter because I need extra hydration living in New York. And it was also in a milk carton shaped thing, which to me speaks like, liquidy.
Right.
Like milk carton to me does not say lotion. It says body wash.
Yeah.
And it was in the body wash section. And yes, it's on me ultimately for not more carefully reading the label.
Busy gal. That's stuff to do. You can't read labels all the time.
I now have lotion in my pussy, and then I tried to like douche it out, but douching it with just in the shower, a hand douche. And I have my period, so there's a lot going on up there. But so guys, if you've been around me and be like, wow, this bitch smells, it's because I've been bathing with a lotion. And then I didn't have any body wash left. So then I just did what I had to do, which was bathe. I used dog shampoo. I had to. It was Burt's Bees. I said, if it's good enough for Alfred's penis, it's good enough for my pussy. And so this is where we are now. I bathed on purpose with dog shampoo because there was nothing else. The only kind of shampoo I had was purple shampoo, and you don't want to. I didn't like. It really does have dye in it, so I didn't want to wash my whole body in purple shampoo.
Yeah. John Frieda.
It's the only thing. I don't think it was John. I don't think it was John Frieda, but I was. Yeah, I mean it was. So that's what we did.
Wow.
That it's not dick shampoo.
What? That's hilarious. That's amazing. I also was feeling like in a good zone too. Like just feel good. That's really all I care about. It's just, I just want to feel good. Like even if stuff's falling apart around me, I'm like, if I can handle it, then I'm fine.
That's how I was for a while. I was feeling good, but things actually weren't going well.
Yeah.
But I feel like things,
now
knock
it's aligned.
knock on wood, are actually maybe starting to go well.
I want to do something crazy with my hair, but I don't know what to do.
Oh yeah, you talked about that.
I need to feel.
You can get a keratin straightening, but I know you worked so hard to get the curl. You
I did work hard to get the curl, which is fine. I don't mind that. I mean, if anything, like I would do like a short haircut and then just straighten it. Like it's super. My hair straightens super.
Oh,
well.
it is, because I was like,
really
if you did keratin treatment, you wouldn't have to straighten it every day.
A color or something, because you curly with a color. No, like a pink or a blue or whatever the fuck.
You could do highlights of it. Yeah, I wouldn't do the whole thing, because I think
they do make curly extensions, which I didn't realize.
Oh,
yeah. Which I'm like, that feels complicated, because I have 8 different curls on one fucking head. It's like, pick one, God, and it's changed over the years.
It's just because I was like, that's also it's really just to add. I mean, for me, it's length and a little volume, but I'm like, you probably don't need more volume.
No. I mean, I love huge like Diana Ross hair.
Yeah,
but yeah, I want to
Diana Ross hair.
God,
actually,
Ross.
that's sick.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I want to do something different, but we'll see. It'll come to me. You just gotta trust the universe. Speaking of the universe, our guest is a member of it. She's
you can come in. You can come in. We just can't talk to you yet.
Yeah. She has been taking the Ireland's comedy scene by storm. I had the absolute privilege when I was in Ireland doing a gig with Von DeCarlo, one of my good friends and an amazing stand-up comedian, and a Kamala Harris lookalike, by the way. You should follow her on Instagram, Von DeCarlo. Anyway, we were there and we saw the promoter was like, oh, you should also see this woman's show. And I was like, oh, I would love to. The venue was gigantic. It was sold the fuck out. And like, our shows are amazing and the energy is gorgeous. But this woman, the show that I saw, I was just impressed by how pumped everybody was, how gigantic the crowd was. And then her stand-up was just, it blew me away. So she's a stand-up comedian and she is the host of a very popular podcast called My Therapist Goes to Me. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Joanne McNally.